Ready, Zito?
Yeah, whenever you guys are ready.
All right, what's up? You got the Lycan King here from In the Ring TV. I'm here with Bashar, the owner of Muscletone Bullies. We're going to interview him right now. We're going to talk a little bit about what Muscletone is, him, and then the dogs, and then we're going to talk about the current dog right now that's just cleaning up the market. So, Bashar, appreciate you for giving us the interview. Thank you very much. Definitely. Now, you guys are based out of Florida, right?
Correct. Naples, Florida now.
Naples, Florida, and then you have dogs all over the place, all over.
Yeah, so we're a franchise. We franchised the company in 2007. Started off with Indonesia, Thailand, France, Belgium, Italy, Spain, followed by the UK, and then Russia, Romania, Sweden actually before that, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And Colombia actually before that even. So I forgot a few. I mean, I can't keep track.
No, it's all over.
14 countries.
Yeah, so that's good. That's good. Now, the most notable in all of them, the big sale, of course, was Magoo. That was like the big, real huge first one of the American Bully world for that six-figure price tag.
Big name because so Magoo did a lot of things that changed history. First of all, let's start with the when we first started the American Bully back in 2000, it was not even an American Bully. It was technically a pit.
It was a pit.
And I was breeding XLs because I wanted size.
Yeah.
But they were too tall. I didn't like the height of them. Even though my first production, Simba, lifted 19, is a beautiful dog, 137 pounds of muscle.
That's when you were in Detroit, right?
I was in Detroit.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So we built off of that, and we started to shrink him slowly into the standard. And the time of Yoshi, Calypso, and all these big name dogs I had at the time. They were Mouse of Extreme, but they were in the standard 17-inch, 18-inch tall. Every now and then I would hit a 16-inch dog,
Boom.
When Corrupt came into the picture, started breeding with him. And then as we worked our way to the breeding that produced Stella and all of that, with my partner at the time, Pat, we brought in Dax. And then when we brought Dax into the picture, we produced Magoo back to some of the other stuff we had. And we had 3 or 4 different lines of bloods that we were messing with at the time in the yard. And we bred Magoo to everything. And we built, and then we built a line from that, right?
Yep.
So the Muscletone line is built off of 6 different set of lines of dogs that's all mixed together. So it's not like people think like, oh, Dax line. Dax line is not a line.
Nah.
The only reason it was called a line is because he had 2,000 some offsprings.
That was it. Yeah.
And there's so many of them. So, but that's really not a line.
Nah.
And it's not,
before that, Ed had like 21 Blackjack, all them other
21
dogs,
Blackjack, which he bought from Cruz, which was Dave's part of the time, and so it was going back to some edge gaudy stuff mixed. So it was just a bunch of stuff. The same with with all of these dogs. But long story short, is that we started to build the line, and Dave came out before Magoo was sold and said that Magoo was the prime example of what the breed is supposed to look like.
Okay.
Is when the Kaza was upcoming.
Yup.
And Kaza that year, the Nationals was, he got best of winners. He was making a big noise. They photoshopped him.
Yeah.
They photoshopped him, trying to make him look like a train wreck. And it was so funny because that Photoshop picture actually sold the dog for $1 million later on because when they stretched him to make him look long, it made him look like he had legs that wide, right? And everybody was like, oh my God, look at the bone, look at the bone. Nobody even cared that the dog was so stretched long.
They seen it. So
they just saw the bone, which the bone wasn't that big. It was because they stretched the picture. He had good bone, but not like that.
Yeah.
And they actually kind of worked out in my favor. It was kind of dumb on their part. But it's funny that every time they came at me with some lies or some manipulation or something bad to say, they always worked out in my benefit.
Always.
And that's proof of God always prevails for the truth. So that's
why like you said, because the day and age that we're at now, a lot of people are doing that. They're taking the pictures, they're photoshopping them, they're making it worse.
Twisting the truth.
Yeah, twisting the truth. Instead of going head to head with the dog, they're just trying to just bash it on the back end, and that one didn't work. Like you said, it backfired and hit bigger on the other end.
It didn't work with Magoo because they thought crap of Magoo being a mixed dog, by Bulldog and him, and this and that. And then that we're going away from the breed. It's not what the breed is. Yes, it is exactly what the breed is supposed to look like.
110%.
Extreme has always been the goal of the breed.
Always. From day one, if that thing didn't walk down the street and impressiveness went in there, that's why it kills me when people start talking breed type, all this other stuff. They skip over step 1. If the dog don't look impressive from the beginning,
it's not a breed type.
It's not even breed type. Right from there, right from the beginning on that.
Exactly.
No matter how much it stands right, no matter how much it... Right then and there, it loses out.
The first impression is, damn, what kind of dog is that?
Exactly.
How often do we get that, babe?
All the time.
All the time.
All the time.
You should be walking down the street and people go like this. People are like, whoa, what is... Like, that's what it was made for. It wasn't like what everybody thinks. Oh, no, it has to have... The rear was a little higher, this or that. No.
That's
this
number
dog
one.
is supposed to be... Right there.
If I'm not impressed by the dog, nothing else matters after that.
It's pointless.
That's the number one thing. I'm impressed by the dog.
Yep.
Then let's break him down.
Exactly.
If I'm not impressed by the dog, I don't give a shit. It's done. Just move him out of the way.
Move out.
Put him out of the ring. So, and that's where the judges have a hard time sometimes.
Yeah.
But again, sometimes I don't blame them because I've seen rings where there was no bulls in the ring.
There was none.
And they got to pick something. Me personally, if I was judging, which is probably why I'm not judging, there would be no, I would just kick everybody out.
You kick them out, exactly. The same reason why I don't do it, because to me, giving that point away, that's why right now we have so many people in champion classes that you don't even know who the dog is.
And I heard
I'm like,
today,
and then looking
so
at it, I'm like,
who came in today because I made a hype on the extremes being the show, and they're coming in like, how the hell are these American bullies in the ring next to your dog?
Exactly.
Because my dog looked different than all the other dogs. There's not true. There's 2 other bulls in the ring.
Yeah.
3 other bulls in the ring. You know, but it's 4 bulls in the champion class amongst 16 dogs. It's kind of in the champion class.
That's big.
That's bad, right? So, a long story short, but that's the story with Muguso. Muguso sold for quite a bit. Only $750,000.
Yep.
He was also the first dog, not only to be the example of the breed, to sell for so much money, which is the record American bullies all the time. But he was also the first dog to walk the wall of China.
That's what I was going. That's what I was telling my partner Zito over there. That was huge.
Yeah, not only the first American bully, but the first dog.
Period. Like dog.
And 1,000-some years the wall of China has been up, and with 2,000 years, right, to walk the wall of China because it's sacred. Dogs are not allowed on it.
And that goes back to the point, like, everybody used to scream about Little Roe. When we had Little Roe out there, it wasn't like Little Roe was like this over. Like he was a decent dog for that time. But it was more or less because we had him in Hollywood. We had him over here. It was the breaking through of the barriers where we couldn't have it. We had Jim Carrey's daughter pose with a picture of him. Like that is what this breed is for. People don't understand that. It's the milestone. It's not, you can have 50 trophies for all you want. But like if your dog's not breaking milestones or nobody even walks down the street and sees it,
it's nothing.
It's nothing. It's just another dog. It's a decent looking dog. Maybe an Amstaff. You don't know. It just is not representing the word as American Bully.
It's not. The American Bully should be impressive. Which brings us to the next topic, which led to Kaza. Kaza went around just like Mugu, doing stack offs and winning all the stack offs and always doing that old school stack off is always part of Muscletone. That's how we started, right? Story that people don't know about is my partner in France, Fred, at the time, Muscletone France. He had a issue with a guy that they used to call Big Ben back in the day.
Yeah, I know.
He was really big in Europe. He was pretty much dominated the market, and he intimidated a lot of the newer upcoming guys because he wanted to be the one in charge. He didn't want nobody else to be there.
Yeah.
So I said, don't pay him no mind. Just do your thing, And he started attacking him left and right. And my partner's not built like me, where he doesn't care what people think. So he started taking it personal, talking about family members and making physical threats. And so I went online and I said, I'm going to be kind to you and I'm going to give you a chance. Just stay in your lane. We stay in our lane. You do your thing. We do our thing. Yeah. And no one has to get hurt.
Yeah.
And he took it as a threat. And I said, I'm not physically threatening you. That's not how I work.
Yeah.
Just
letting you know what happens with the brick crossing. That's it.
But I'm letting you know your dogs are, and I send them this on private messages. Your dogs are not what you think they are.
Exactly.
Don't make me send dogs there that will make your business end.
Yeah.
He goes, you don't got shit. Oh, that's all right. So I sent 2 females over there. And he was talking about his big male that was the biggest dog there. And I told my partner, I said, just take those 2 girls and stack him to his male at every show he shows up at. Bam. And make sure it goes live and make sure everybody sees it.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, if in 6 months anyone knows your name, I'll personally retire. 4 months later, no one heard his name again. Nobody knows where he is. You know where he is?
No.
And I swear to God, I didn't kill the guy.
And it was different because at the time, Ben was just coming over here. He was just buying up on yards. He wasn't producing them. He was buying everyone's dogs who come to my yard. He'd be like, yo, we'll take all these, take this and that. And then we were like, okay, it was whatever else. But, you got to still, anybody can have the pieces of the puzzle. But if you can't put the puzzle together, it's a bad situation.
Correct.
And, a lot of stuff, no matter what, I see it out there a lot. To me, I'm the most quietest guy out there in the game because I've dealt with the drama in the beginning, the help building this thing. So I just, now I just do my show. I just take what it is. But to me, everybody hits me up. Like, my phone's been blowing up so much over the summer and everything else. Like, oh, what the fuck? You guys say something about these dogs. I'm like, what do you want me to say? I'm the worst person to come to because I know the reason why I stopped showing dogs in here and everywhere else because they're not picking bullies. I was like, what you guys have here now is a blown up UKC scenario of a dog. It's not American Bully though. Just because it can walk, gait, and all that stuff, that's the last things on the list where it is if it doesn't have the impressiveness or the size and everything else, I don't even count it. I don't even look at it. I look right past it. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I'm pushing the extreme so much in the past.
100%. And that's when people hit me up about that. And I'm like, dude, the dog looks good.
Yeah.
People hit me up about beans and everything. I was like, the dog looks good. Like, what do you want me to say? It's American Bully. That's what
it is. What it is.
And that's where it's at. And then that's what it always comes to. Because I'm like, do you guys really hate the dog? or do you hate the person that's involved just because he's making money, he's producing a look that he likes, and people are buying his dogs for top dollar? Like, what is really your problem? Instead of just, you know, at that point, if your dog is that bad, go head to head with him. Like you said, you always do the stack off.
Anytime.
And to me, the stack off is the biggest thing ever. Always.
And I'm always fair. I never make it look when my dog looks better. I'm always in the center of the video. I always put a fair video, and I always compliment both dogs. And I always, I'm not here to destroy anybody's business. That's bad karma, and that's why they fail. That's why they fail.
Yeah.
The worst trait a human being can have. Okay, I would rather eat at a table with thieves than eat at a table with envious people.
100%.
Envious people will kill you, backstab you, steal from you. There is not a crime they will not commit to be who you are or be in your shoes. They are the worst people. They pretend to be your friends. The dog should be. They're the worst people, and I honestly feel bad for them because that's a disease that I don't know how they can live with themselves. Because it's got to be painful to be constantly envious of other people.
And if they are, they're not enjoying what is set up. They're not coming to these shows to enjoy it. They're not laughing. Like, I've seen it, like for instance, your dog just won. Instantly, Ant was outside. You guys were already stacking it next to each other. The dog didn't go to the crate.
No.
Most of these people come out the ring, put the dog in the crate, was like, oh, he needs a rest, so I can't get no photos right now. Then what's the purpose? If you ain't stacking that dog right there to let people see it, that's why the general public don't come to them.
Yeah.
You're not giving them nothing to do outside of the show ring. You need to give them that impression by the booth, outside, wherever it may be at. Bring dogs up, stack them up, whatever. Like, you shouldn't have that problem instead of posting this one badass picture all the time and nobody sees you stack against nobody. It's like, what are you really doing with the dog? What is he really looking for? Why are you bitching then about this dog winning if you won't stack against it, compete against it, or do anything at that level, you know? So it's pretty crazy. But bringing it fast forward now to the dog Kong you got. This dude looks great, you know what I mean? He's winning all over.
He's a Kaza and Bean in one.
Yeah, and he's more on the smaller side than what you normally is. Yeah, he's small. Exactly.
I mean, he's big compared to all the dogs here, but he's small from my yard.
For the Muscletone thing, that's what I was saying.
So, I mean, we stacked with 7 today. I love that dog. It's a great
beautiful dog.
Beautiful dog.
Beautiful dog.
7 won the stack off because, unfortunately, we had an incident at the airport with Nemesis. We couldn't make it. Truthfully, Nemesis would have taken that 20 grand because Nemesis is twice the dog of
7.
Or 7 or 3 times the size of Kong, really. But, you know, Kong held his own with 7 being a pocket versus a standard. They're about the same width. But Nemesis is a whole nother animal. But Nemesis is not a grand champion. So the concept onto why 7 and Kong is such a good stack off, they're both grand champion dogs.
Yes.
They're both ABKC grand champion title dogs. One is a standard, one is a pocket. They're both wide, they're both impressive, and they're both perfect example of what the American Bully should be.
Yes.
You look at these two dogs, and if you have a standard, it should look like 7. If you have a pocket, it should look like King Kong.
100%.
If it doesn't, you need to go back to the lab.
Yeah.
Not bitch and complain and cry and whine that your dog is this and that. No, just go back to the lab. If your dog does not have that front stature, because the American Bully started off with a front stature. It didn't start off with a side silhouette. It started off with the front.
Every one of them big shows from back in the day, from
all front,
the Florida one to this, all we were doing was bring the dogs in the ring, stack them from the front. There was no walking even out, back, or nothing. It was literally put that dog forward. Let's see how wide he is. Let's look at them all. That's what we wanted. That's the silhouette that everybody got the love.
Front silhouette
is that front silhouette.
Number one silhouette. So the big thing that people are attacking me on the other day when I made a post, and I was defending 7 at the time because he's slightly higher in the rear, which, by the way, I see him in person now. He is not that high in the rear, guys. You guys made him look like a freaking slope. He doesn't look like that. He's like this much high in the rear, which is freaking nothing. And honestly, if the right handler stacked him, you wouldn't even see it.
Exactly.
So it's a bunch of BS. I've seen higher dogs in the ring that you guys praise with higher butts than that are not even
and don't have the width.
They don't have the width.
They don't have the width.
You guys praise, by the way. So I'm tired of hearing these idiots. So the truth is, at the end of the day, the reason I put the post was to defend 7. People are like, oh, you're defending your dog. No, I'm not defending my dog. My dog has a decent top line. I'm not defending my dog. I'm defending
another great example.
It has no muscle tone in it, by the way, whatsoever. Because I'm defending the extreme.
Exactly.
I'm defending the American Bully as a whole because defending the American Bully helps me and everyone else.
Yeah.
Because if you guys start to pay attention, the more classic these rings become, the more we lose people in the American Bully circle. And where do they go? To the exotics.
The exotics. Because they're doing the stack-offs and everything
Because they're the ones doing the stack-offs from the front. Because it's about the front. So years back when Dave called me, the movement of exotic was so powerful, I said, I'll shut it down. I'm going to take an ABKC Grand Champion dog, Mr. Bean, and I'm going to stack to every exotic in the world. And I did. I toured the entire world with Bean. Out of my own expense, guys, to protect the American Bully breed and the ABKC, to show the world that an ABKC Grand Champion dog is a better, healthier, structured dog and more massive and impressive with a more wow factor than any exotic on the planet. And I proved that.
Well,
I proved that easily.
It's you, and that's where it's a good point you bring that up, because a lot of people look at these exotic shows and they're like, how are the shows still growing when the dogs are having the problems, you know, that the exotics are having? That's a whole nother issue. But they don't realize all the big heavy hitter dogs that were in this ring or coming to these shows are going there just to get the right trophies, get the right stack off, because these shows ain't giving it to them. That 20K stack off, that thing was just a stack off, and it packed the house.
Exactly.
Like, it packed the house. Like, people want to see that more than this, because they're still not picking the right dogs coming out from anything. Like, the judges need to see that.
Today they did.
Yeah, today they definitely did.
Brian did really good in the ring.
Yep.
I didn't think I was going to win under him. I wasn't even going to judge to the dog under him, but I was like, you know what the hell, I'm here.
Yeah,
you know,
why not?
let the dog get some exercise, and he did well. He did really well in the ring. So I mean, whatever. I'm glad. I'm grateful. Maybe they're changing. I know that Dave and Coop keep telling me, "Oh, we're talking to the judges, we're teaching them," but they don't always get it. But sometimes I do see it.
They do see it. Every once in a while, like when Lou picked, Lou's a good friend of mine. I know Lou's the best. I always stick up for always Lou, and everybody knows that. It's like Lou's here, he's gonna pick a bully or dog. Lou knows what we seen in the beginning, what the whole thing was put together for, everything from the beginning. Like that's why I've been all the way out. I was talking to Lou even on the way here. It's just what it is, and that's how I'm connected with them guys a lot, with me and Lou, because you know, we spent over 25, 30 years knowing each other, going through this from the beginning on out. So now it's just like he's picking the same dogs he ever did from the beginning. I tell people that. I was like, from Lou from the first show to this show now, he is staying the same way, and he don't care. You can bash him right now. If he goes and judges next week, he's going to still pick that same dog. Where some of these judges, they get changed and they're not picking the dog.
They're scared,
and we need that. We need more of that heavy hitters coming out, because that, regardless or not, the people that put the biggest boosts are the guys with the dogs that are winning. Half of these dogs are out here, champ or grand champ. I don't even know who they are. I ain't even gonna lie. I see them in the ring, and then after they come out the ring, I don't even notice the dog in a crowd of people. That's bad. You don't. I'm like looking around, like I'm like, whoa, what happened? It disappears. It's like gone. And then you go over there, you got like 10 of them in one booth with no banner, no. They don't care about like the representation and what you're doing as far as like advertisement, putting it out there, clothes, shirts, like that stuff was all part of that.
Yeah.
But these guys are just chasing trophies and points. They're not really chasing what the dog is as a standard. If you really care for what the breed is in the dog, you don't care whose dog it is. Just like how you were defending for 7. You're like, I don't give a fuck. Listen, that's American Bully. Pick that dog. That dog, this dog's American Bully. Like, that's what we need in all of us. Like, because if we don't have that, you're almost going to wash your own. What people are thinking they're enjoying will be washed out in like 10 more years. And it'll be literally just like a UKC standard, like thick UKC pit bull style dog, like an Amstaff looking dog, you know?
Years ago, they asked me, like, you're going to, they still ask me, when you're going to outcross, I thought by now that someone else would have done what I did and have bred a line of extreme dogs for a good decade, and they have their own bloodline. That doesn't exist. I'm the only one.
Yeah.
And it pisses me off because I can't outcross without losing something.
Yeah.
And I look around me and I'm like, what the hell happened? Like, we're all on the same page. I feel like we have Muscletone as a whole has literally sustained the real extreme in the ABKC by ourselves for the past decade. I mean, if you look at Europe, any extreme dog in the ring, it's got to be Muscletone. Yeah. And every now and then, now we're starting to see like dogs like 7 and that come out, and I'm like, oh, there we go. Here's one. Here's another one. But they're like random all over the place. Kind of like they were back when we started. They were random. One popped here and they were all flukes.
They're flukes.
And that's what these guys are. And I'm like, why are they flukes? No. There should be a consistency here.
Should be.
And that's why I'm speaking up. And the reason is, these judges, they were trained, I'm not going to say by what judge, and told them all that their silhouette's got to look like this and got to look like that. And all they look at is that stupid side profile. First, look at the dog from the front. If that dog is not extreme in the front, is not impressive, and you're not like, damn, don't even look at the damn dog side.
It's not even
Forget the dog even exists in the ring. Go on to the wow factor dog and break that one down.
Exactly.
Because that's where the bully is. Or else we're going to keep sticking with classics. Yeah. And that's my way, but I'm not the ABKC and I can't tell these guys how to judge.
No. But it's good that it's good that regardless, you still come out, show up to all the shows, and you're still pushing for that, because we need more people like that. We need everybody that, that has these bulls to start coming back out. Like even Brian, Brian has a couple bulls. I was at his house not long ago. I'm like, Brian, why are you not bringing these back out? Put them in the river.
Thinks they're not gonna win.
And that's what he's used to. He's like, dude, I hate bringing this dog. My dog's selling so many studs. And then, you know what I'm saying? It's like, how can you even do that?
Like, the only
blows my mind.
Only breed where a title really don't mean nothing.
It don't mean nothing.
And that's sad. And I want to bring it where it does mean something, because that brings value to the ABKC.
Definitely.
And it brings value to the dog, and it makes people want to go to the shows with the proper dogs.
It's crazy, yeah.
And it gives you a respectful title instead of just, who gives a shit, your dog's a grand champion.
Man.
So to have an extreme grand champion is one thing.
Exactly.
To have a grand champion means nothing.
Means nothing.
So either you have an extreme grand champion or you don't have anything.
Yeah.
So in my book, and this goes for the value of the dog, and no one can tell you better about value of dog than me, because let's just be honest. I mean, who sold the numbers we sold, right?
That's what I'm saying. The numbers is crazy. I mean, a lot of people don't know. I mean, a lot of people hear, and it's crazy because when we talk about numbers, and a lot of people are like, oh, that's not true. That's not true. From being on the backside, I know the numbers are true. That's why I'm like, dude, it's not true to you, because what you're selling your first pick at like $3,000, and your last dog you're selling for $1,000. That's not even heard of. At that portion. I was like, you should just keep the dog.
I was
like, I was like, yo, call my homie up, yo, come grab these joints.
Cut it nuts and give it away.
That's what I'm like, because at that portion, that dog you sold at $3,000 is worth nothing more than $1,000 now.
It's not worth shit.
Like, it's not worth shit. I was like, and that's the purpose of it. So a lot of people are like, they take these dogs and then they go and they be like, oh, look at it. I'm like, if you went from champ to grand champ and you sold 0 studs, what really did you even think you want? I was like, half of the time you're out here winning on show 3 and 4. You're not winning on show 1 or 2 when everybody's here. I was like, that's how you got the champ or grand champ. So why even representing that dog out? I was like, just be done with it. You champed him. He don't look right. Go over there and buy some other dog or buy dogs. Like, worst part about it is they get in. Oh, I got this title. I'm going to keep breeding my male to everything. No. Your male don't even fit the fact. Go spend some dollars now. Get yourself a nice female if you want to try to help your male. But you don't have it. You don't have substance. You don't have wow factor. You don't have it.
Gene pool.
I get it. And there's nothing wrong with, like I tell people, there's nothing wrong with somebody liking a classic or something like this. But don't get mad when the real bulls are winning in the ring. Like, just look at it and be like, oh, okay, my dog is this, and walk off. You can be happy. Like, people breed whippets out there. People breed German Shepherds. People, all that. You can do whatever you want. But, like, when you represent that word, American Bully, it has to have wow factor.
It has to.
It has to. 100%.
I don't know if anyone saw, the wow factor was the term I came up with. People don't know. Yeah. So back in 2012, I was like, I'll explain the purpose of the breed. It was like, what's the secret? What's the secret? I'll explain the purpose of the breed. You all don't know it. Mm-hmm. That's why you're failing. And after 3 posts in a row, trying to get people to guess, and things was going viral, I finally came out and said, wow factor.
Yeah.
And then explain to you the wow factor just means when you see the dog, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
What is that?
Exactly.
That is a wow factor. And that the whole term went out from there, right? Yeah. So, and a lot of people using it now, nobody realized where it came from, but that is literally has always been the purpose.
Always.
And any of us old school guys, remember walking, you see a dog with a wide chest and a big ass head, you're like, God damn, what is that?
Exactly.
Who's this dog? Right? And we wanted one like that.
We wanted it.
And I don't recall any of us being like, God, that dog is fucked up. No, we were like, man, I want that dog. Like, you got a puppy off him? Can I breed to him? Like, we were all like that. Like,
and people would take that same picture and be posting like, yo, I seen this motherfucker in person.
The picture with the dog.
Does nothing. Where now people are trying to, like you said, get that weird angle to try to make the dog look long, or they're photoshopping. Like, we had none of that back then. Like, we were like, no. Like, we were like, dude, I've seen this motherfucker. That thing look crazy. And everybody was like, wow. You know what I mean?
think the last picture I've seen done like that was Dave Wilson in Magoo.
Yeah.
He came up to the show. He goes, I take a picture with this dog. Yep. Because that's what we used to do.
That's what we used to do.
And he took a picture with Magoo. And he went viral. And everybody's like, oh, Dave bought Magoo. Oh, Bashar's paying off Dave. I'm like, he just wanted a picture with the dog because he liked the dog. Because that's what we did back then.
It was a level of respect. Just the same as when we bred a dog, we would say, oh yeah, it does have some muscle tone on it. There's people out there telling me it's not. I'm looking at the dog. I'm like, well, let me see the pet. I'm like, dude, look at that. It's got 4 times it in there. Yeah. Like, how are you telling me the dog don't have it just because you bought from here and you, that's.
Or they hang the papers and then like, they're like, oh,
he's like, well, I own this dog. I own that. Oh yeah, you own him, but that's still like what it is. It is. You know what I mean? You can't call a Benz a Beamer if it's sitting there and looks like a Benz.
Yeah, you can't change the badge on it.
Yeah. It's a done deal, but no, but that's good though. It's a pleasure to get you on here. We definitely want to try to come down one time when we're in Florida, link up with you, and we'll do some more, footages of more all the dogs. You got a gang of bulls. You're going to see today, we're going to get a lot of footage of Kong today. So we got some of them in the ring. We'll get some outside of them. Beautiful. And then we'll do that. And then we'll put that all in there for the interview. But I appreciate you, Bashar. I know we met a couple times at Days and we're here and there, but, we're the same people that think the same type of way. Anybody in my eyes that wants to further the breed. I mean, a lot of us, I was there from when we had it, we're at pet expos, we're running it to get the name out there. So to me, seeing anybody carrying what was there, I honor it. Like, to me, I don't get mad at nobody. That's why I don't see that. This is half of the reason why I stopped selling the breeders. I sell my favorite dogs go to lawyers, rappers, or anybody else before I even think about advertising to these fuckers out here, because they take the shit and they turn shit down, or they don't really know what they have. You know what I mean? But it's good to see people out there loving the stack offs, you know, going head to head with people. People don't do that either. People are so afraid. People rather go head to head with like this picture and that picture, Photoshop. No, that's not head to head, bro.
I post videos, man. Every day I post video. And they're like, oh, Bashar's Photoshop. I'm like, dude, it's a video.
It's a video. It's a done deal. And you'll see from here. I ain't photoshopping none. I ain't shooting there. I have no connection to Bashar Muscletone, but to me, I'm going to bring you guys all the American Bully. That's why we bring the truth. That's why we only interview certain people, because I can't put somebody on here that doesn't have nothing, or the dog don't even have wow factor to me. I don't even care if you're a great breeder. You can keep your house clean the best you can, but it's not for what we feature as a show on American Bully. I'm going to show you the real bulls, and that's what we bring to everybody. You know what I mean? So appreciate it, brother. Thank you very much.
I want to also say one last thing that came to mind today that somebody brought out to me. A few of the guys, I think I've had maybe a dozen people today come up to me and goes, man, pictures do no justice.
Nah.
Stop judging dogs on the internet, please. Stop. Please stop. Yeah. It's like no people who've never had a fight in their life judging a UFC fight or a boxing fight.
Yes.
I just look at them like, what the hell are you talking about? Like,
no, you got to see them in person.
You have to have lived it, seen it, touched it to understand it.
Yeah.
There is no picture in the world, especially because they're not Photoshopped. There's no picture in the world or video that I can put that will give you the full impression of any of our dogs, or any dog in general, but specifically our dogs. And I've heard that my whole career.
Yeah, you got to see.
You
got to
so
walk
much better in person, because you don't realize how massive these dogs are and how wide they are to see them. And everyone's like, I can stack to your dog, no problem, my dog. And then they show up, they're like, oh shit. I'm like,
yeah.
Trust me.
That's why, like, even when they're studying to the dogs, they got that same thing. See them in person, because when you see that next to your leg or your foot, you start referencing in your hands. Then you're like, wow, this dude is crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro. And that's the difference, you know what I mean? You're like, oh shit, that bone looks like my bone, not like two little fingers, you know? And that's how some of these dogs come out. You see on Photoshop, now see in person, it looks like that instead of looking like literally like my forearm. And that's how it should be. It should be presented like that.
It's hard to capture. Cameras don't take a perfect picture, especially angles and lighting and it's until you see it in person and you put your hands on it and you see it move. Movement is a big thing. Like when a dog's perked up and his neck muscles are popping out, you know. And then I've heard that today. Today it was a reminder. I'm like, man, I hear this all the time, and I'm like,
because the dog walks off and it comes back and resets. Sometimes people can overstack, like you said, spread them real wide, the rear. But when you see that dog just moving, you know that's his natural gait.
Yeah, just natural gait. And you saw that guys with King Kong today.
Exactly.
So you saw him in his natural state, so you know what he looks like.
Yeah, no, it was a pleasure, brother. Keep it up. Keep the good work up and everything like that, and we'll be good to go.
Thank you.
That's it. In the Ring TV, we're out. Bashar from Muscletone. You just heard it first here. All right.
See you guys.
Appreciate it, brother. Definitely, man. Cool, bro. Yeah.